Yo, what is going on, NFL fans? I'm Jay All Day, and we're going to do a little prediction podcast for everyone. The NFC East division leading Philadelphia Eagles travel on the road to Dallas to play the Cowboys, one of the greatest rivalries in the NFL. And this game for the Eagles is almost must win, because if you lose this game, not only are you losing this game, you're losing the number one seed potentially to San Francisco and potentially losing the division lead to the Dallas Cowboys. If you haven't yet, guys, please consider subscribing to the channel, smashing that like button, and ringing that notification bell. It really helps grow this channel. You guys have been coming each and every week for these podcasts. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. The Cowboys have been on fire as of late. The Eagles had that tough loss to San Francisco at home. They got absolutely blown out of that game, guys. Dallas has won 6 out of their last 7 games. In week 9, I think it was, they lost 28-3 to the Eagles, but they were going in, driving, but they just came up a little bit short in that game, and the Eagles were able to hold on and get the victory. The coach for the Dallas Cowboys, McCarthy, just had appendix surgery, so they don't know if he's going to be on the sideline on Sunday or not. We'll have to see. But, man, the Cowboys, 33 or more points in 4 straight games and over 40 points in their last 4 home games. It was against Seattle, Washington, New York, and the Rams, but man, they crushed bad teams, dude. 9-1 against teams under 500. It is absolutely insane how well Dak Prescott has been playing the last 6 or 7 weeks, really, guys. But the Dallas Cowboys are yet to have that big statement win of this 2023 season. Dak is legitimately on fire. Last week he went 299, 3 tutties, and 115 rate against Seattle. The last 6 games, guys, listen to this. 20 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He is a legitimate MVP candidate. And if he's able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles this week at home, he really cements himself as that probably number 1 guy in the MVP race. In week 9 versus the Philadelphia Eagles, Dak had a really good game. 29 for 44, 374 yards, 3 tutties, and no picks. Another 115-point rating. And man, CeeDee Lamb went absolutely bananas against the Eagles. 11 catches, 191 yards. He had a really good game last week too. 12 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown. But Dak Prescott has been getting sacked a lot. He was sacked 4 times, 7 QB hits last week in that blowout win versus Seattle. And then when they played the Eagles in week 9, Dak was sacked 5 times, and a lot of those coming on 3rd down. They were terrible on 3rd down against the Eagles. That's the reason why they lost this game. 6 for 15 on 3rd down. They have to be better if they want to beat the Eagles than 6 for 15 on 3rd down. But look for tight end Jake Ferguson to ball out, guys. He's going to be dripping in this game. The Eagles are the worst team in the NFL at covering tight ends. I'm thinking he goes for 8 catches, 85 yards at least, and a touchdown. He's going to have a really good game. And Brandon Cooks has been playing better a lot lately. 3 out of the last 4 games, he's had touchdowns. If the Dallas Cowboys have Jake Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb, and Brandon Cooks all firing on all cylinders, it's going to be tough sledding for the Philadelphia Eagles this week. That's why I'm predicting the Dallas Cowboys are going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles 28-24. And I'm going to give you some of those reasons why. I love the Cowboys defense. Micah Parsons, 11.5 sacks on the year, tied for 6th best in the NFL, and 78 pressures, which is number 1 in the NFL. And the Eagles' rush defense has not been good the last 3 weeks, guys. And I think Tony Pollard might be another guy from a fantasy perspective could have a really big game. Listen to this. The last 3 weeks, the Eagles have given up 146, 173, and 168 yards to San Francisco, Buffalo, and Kansas City. 5.2 yards per clip for San Francisco, 4.3 for Buffalo, who is not known for running the ball, and either is Kansas City, who ran the ball for 5.6 yards per carry against the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I mentioned before, the Eagles are coming off that big home loss to the San Francisco 49ers, 42-19. OMG. The Eagles really struggled in the red zone. And if they want to win this game against Dallas, I think they need to not kick field goals. I'd rather them go for it on fourth down and not get any points than to kick field goals, man. If the Eagles were to score touchdowns instead of field goals in those first two drives against the 49ers, this game would look a lot different. Even in that blowout loss to the San Francisco 49ers, the offense looked pretty good. Hurts 26 of 45, 298 and a touchdown. Devontae Smith 9 for 96 and A.J. Brown 8 for 114 yards. But they really missed Dallas Goedert, man. He's been that first down safety net, especially on third downs for Jalen Hurts. If Dallas Goedert does not play, it's going to be tough sledding for this Philadelphia Eagles offense if they want to win this game. But they have to just flush it, man. They have to just move on because Jalen Hurts was very effective against Dallas in the first time they played, but Dallas Goedert was playing in that game. Jalen Hurts went 207 yards in the air for 2 touchdowns, but 130 rate. He didn't throw for a ton of yards, but he was extremely effective. So that's why he had that 130-point rate. But the Eagles are struggling running the football, man. They have to be better. The Eagles did fumble 3 times when they played the Cowboys the first time. They got to clean that shit up. The Eagles did just sign Shaq Leonard. The Eagles have probably the worst linebacker core in the entire NFL. I don't know if this makes them better, but when you have guys like Christian Ellis, Nick Morrow, and Ben Van Sumeren starting for you in the NFL, they're going to get shredded. These guys are bush. They wouldn't be playing for any other team except for the Eagles. And they're also extremely thin at cornerback behind Darius Slay and James Bradbury and at the safety position. I like Blankenship as a safety for the Eagles. He's actually might make a Pro Bowl this year, but their other safety is not very good. And if Blankenship goes down, man, the Eagles are very, very thin at that position. CeeDee Lamb absolutely torched the Eagles in that first game for 11 for 191. And this has been one of my biggest criticisms of Sean Desai, the defensive coordinator. If a guy's going for 11 and 191, you got to make some adjustments, man. You got to double cover him. Let someone else beat you, man. You can't let the same guy beat you over and over and over and over again. Oh, my gosh. Last week, their pass defense was terrible. 4 touchdowns they gave up, 314 yards, and almost 150 rating. Jesus Christ, man. The linebackers, the safeties, even the corners, not very good. They didn't tackle well. They didn't scheme up the game well. They need to coach better. They need to tackle better. They just need to play better because if they don't, they might get blown out again by Dallas. Dallas has scored over 40 points in each of their last 4 home games, so that will continue if Sean Desai and the Eagles don't clean it up. On the offensive side of the football, we really got to hope Dallas Goedert plays because the Dallas pass defense is torchable. The last 2 weeks, they've given up 300 passing yards to Seattle and Washington. Geno Smith last week went with 334 yards and 3 touchdowns. Deron Bland is one of their best defenders on Dallas. He has 8 interceptions this year, and 6 of them I think are pick sixes, which is absolutely insane. But he's not a great cover corner. He takes a lot of risk, and those risks come with a cost. He gave up 184 yards in the air and 3 touchdowns last week against DK Metcalf and that Seattle receiving corps. If the Eagles want to have a chance at winning this game, they have to run the ball consistently. If they have a little trouble running the ball in the first quarter, they can't abandon the run. They need to keep feeding DeAndre Swift. And if he puts the ball on the turf, get him out of the game and put Gainwell in or Boston Scott, someone who's not going to fumble the ball. The Eagles cannot afford to turn the ball over. If they're going to fumble the ball, or Jalen Hurts, he's been pretty good protecting the ball from an interception perspective, but when he does get pressured, he does give up those strip sacks a lot. So the Eagles have to protect the football, man. They really have to protect the football, but I just don't see the Eagles defense locking down Dallas's offense enough for them to win the game. I think they're going to probably score over 30. I think they're going to score over 30, guys. Dallas's offense, Jake Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Tony Pollard, Dak Prescott, who's potentially the MVP of the National Football League. For the Eagles to go in and beat Dallas on the road would be a huge statement, but I don't think that happens. I'm an Eagles fan if you follow my content, but I think the Dallas Cowboys win this game. Let's say 30-24. I was going to say 28-24, but I think that Dallas and this offense scores over 30 in this game. Thanks so much for tuning into these podcasts, guys. Last week's one against San Francisco did really well. I predicted San Francisco to win. So if you like this content, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel and ringing that notification bell. Each and every subscriber will help us grow this channel so I can continue to bring you more NFL content. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.